Holy cow, kids. You're listening to the third week in a row of Love to Hate.
What?
Yep, I'm Philip Pullman.
And I'm Brandon Luna.
Well, at least that much hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, as we were sitting here about to start enjoying our cigars, I thought, you know, the reason you and I, how our friendship started was over cigars.
It was, yeah.
And I'm thinking of all the friendships I have, and you probably can say the same thing. You have friendships that started in cigar shops because you were smoking cigars. And just kind of the... brotherhood's an overused word and not really indicative, but just the great friendships and the people you meet in life, the opportunities you make that are developed in cigar shops. It's just, it's really a great thing. And I think a lot of times people miss that. They think of it as, you know, this is what, they're just like a bunch of high-class cigarette smokers or whatnot.
Right.
But it's really not. It's something unique. And I'm thinking about, you know, I'm grateful that it brought us together as friends, and now we can do this, and just the other people I know and you know. So I don't know. God bless cigars.
Yeah, definitely God bless cigars. And my career in podcasting started because of a cigar shop.
That's true.
You know?
It did.
Yeah.
That's true. It did. So when we go national, it'll be
yeah.
because of cigars.
It will be, yeah.
And when we're national, people can get an app, and they can start streaming us whenever they want.
That'd be
just
awesome.
like I do with my television shows.
There you go. Yeah.
But I don't know which one to use.
You cut the cord?
I cut the cord.
When'd you cut the cord?
How long have I been in this house? Probably a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So it would have been July a year ago.
So now I got to ask you, because we cut the cord about 14 years ago when we got our house. We had literally no
14?
Yeah, literally
Wow.
no cable available because our house was built at the end of the block, and they stopped all the cable services and pretty much everything else.
As I drove
right
by your
before our
house last
Yeah.
week, I can tell you, your house is not in the middle of nowhere now.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Oh my God, I feel sorry for you.
But yeah, so I mean, we had no cable for the first 2 years we were there, so we just antennaed it and dealt with the Netflix and Hulu or whatever the hell we had at that time, and we just never went back. And I think there's an ease to it because I travel, and if I really want to watch TV, I can watch it in the hotels. I don't.
Right.
But it's there, and it's there in the cigar shops too. I mean, you have the ability at work every day because you have two different shops, but one you work at has television, so there's TV there to watch. And I don't get my news from TV because it's so skewed. I just read my news.
And I get mine from the newspaper, so that's
there you go.
right there in my driveway.
I read the McDonald's of newspapers. I read the USA Today. But that's,
The McPaper.
Yeah, the McPaper. But
yeah, I don't miss it.
I don't either. I honestly don't either. I don't miss commercials. I hate commercials. In fact, it annoys me when I'm in a cigar shop and people talk about, "Do you see that commercial?" I'm like, really? Is that something you want to talk about? Like, I don't.
To me, that's kind of like the conversation of, hey, did you see the new Fiero that came out? It's like, are we still talking about commercials? For years during the Super Bowl, it was all about, I watch it for the ads. It's like, is that even still a thing? Mm-hmm. That people will watch a Super Bowl for the ads?
I think so. I mean. I don't watch it for the sports. I'm not a sports guy, but I didn't know forever what the hell Dilly Dilly was until someone explained it to me.
What's Dilly Dilly?
It's some ad campaign that they're doing for something. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm totally...
It went in one ear and went out the other. I just know Dilly Dilly's a thing, but I didn't know why.
I couldn't tell you. The only commercials I'll see is the ones that I can't opt out of on YouTube.
On Netflix, or YouTube, yeah. Right.
And those are just promos.
Right, for other stuff.
Yeah, for upcoming shows. So that's
now,
not
I do remember a time when YouTube didn't have ads in front of every freaking thing you tried to watch on there.
Well, now they're pushing you to their subscriber service.
Right.
So now you've got to do that. And they actually have a service where you can watch live TV.
They do. There's a lot of those now. And I got something in the mail the other day. Now, mind you, it was in Spanish because my last name is Luna, and I don't speak Spanish. But if you turn it over, it's in English on the back.
You turn you turn it upside down. Oddly, it's in English.
Yeah, you put it in the mirror backwards, you can read it. But whatever. So they had Spectrum is finally doing this thing. They're finally trying to catch up with the times. $21 for 10 channels, including your locals, and you can pick whatever channels you want. Now, mind you, there's some stuff that's not going to be in there, but still, the fact that they're finally doing that after years and years of people saying... Well, I think that's part
of the Time Warner merger.
Probably, yeah.
That they said they were going to start doing that. Because they realize how many people they're losing.
They got to compete. I mean...
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Because more and more people are doing it. Probably the homes that still have it, the homes that still have landline phones.
Right.
Older demographic.
Yeah.
And I think you and I are like on that cusp demographic where we could go either way. We could have it in our house or not.
Right.
Younger people see no need for it.
Right.
But that day of must-see TV, like, man, Thursday nights, Cosby's on, or
Right.
Cheers, whatever it was, those days are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just waiting and going, oh, when does Jack Ryan come out on Amazon? Oh,
Yeah.
that's the 31st.
It drops so you can binge watch it. It's every episode
Absolutely.
of the show. Nobody
all
does
the Marvel show. That's how.
all the streaming stuff. They don't. It's just boom. It's out.
Right.
And,
So
you know.
what streaming services do you have?
So we subscribe to Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Funimation. Just because I do work for them. So
Okay.
But that's
so
it.
I've actually got you beat. Oddly, I've got Netflix, Prime, Hulu, and then on my Amazon I have HBO and Stars.
So how much does that run? Like $10 each or something for the addition of those?
Roughly.
10,
well, with
$12?
Prime you get so much more stuff.
Yeah.
Probably roughly $40,
Okay.
maybe.
So here's
Compared to my cable bill, which would have been
$150.
$150 just for
Right.
the cable.
not including the internet, right?
Right.
And what kills me is all those cable offers that they always have. It's like, oh man, $150 you get all this great stuff, but you get the shittiest internet possible.
Well, yeah,
It's
and when
not
I
even
moved
worth
here
the
and
crap.
just set up internet, they did a hardcore push of like, are you sure you don't want cable? Look at all these channels.
Right.
Look at all, and I'm like, what the? I don't want those channels. I never watched them.
Right.
I scrolled past those channels. I don't. There's very few things I want to watch. I think I watch too much now as opposed to reading, but the things I'm watching, I'm much more discriminating.
Right. So about the only thing I watch on the road when I'm traveling is headline news, shows Forensic Files, pretty much 24/7, or at least in the evenings when I'm in my hotel room. So if it happens to be, I'll check HLN. If they're showing Forensic Files, it'll be on in the background while I'm doing my paperwork and stuff because it's just, I like that stuff. But apparently that's all on Netflix now too. So there's really, again, no reason to
Why
have.
do you need to watch it?
Yeah, it's because it's at the hotel and it's free. But
So those are probably the big ones everybody knows about.
Yep.
But we just mentioned last week, DC Comics is starting one. Disney's talking about doing one.
right,
CBS is doing one.
Right.
Where they have exclusive content. I don't know who else is coming up with one, but how many streaming services are there? Or what are there?
this is a list of PC Magazine has this list of the best video streaming services of 2018. So we'll give credit where credit's due here. Hulu's listed as one. They for $7.99. Now I understood, at least when they started doing their paid service, that it still had commercials. Does it still have commercials?
No.
Okay, so there's no
well,
commercials.
it's you could do two. You could do the tiers you could do the paid service. Shit, you know what? I may be wrong. No, when you did the paid service, you got rid of the commercials,
right.
and
But
I think
some of the
now
new
I think the
shows
whole some of
still
the
have
new
commercials.
shows you had to because it was like this is not a part of this deal, but it was one in the beginning and one at the end, and you
Right.
never watched the one at the end.
Right. So I couldn't get
Yeah.
on board with Hulu because it was always like the same commercial 8 times throughout the
that
episode.
was
The
always
30-minute episode.
that
was
was
awful.
always the worst.
I couldn't do it. So.
I know USA has an app,
yeah.
so you can watch
yeah.
USA. Who else is
Sling TV's a big
now
one.
that one they push a lot. That's live TV also.
Yeah, it's
right?
live TV, and I know people that use it. Lance uses it, and he likes it a lot. I don't know. I think he's on Hulu Live now.
Hulu
But,
Live.
Yeah, Hulu has a live service now as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have live
So you can
TV.
watch sports or what?
Yeah, whatever. So Sling TV's one, CBS All Access, which
How
only
much is
has
that a
Star
month?
Trek at $5.99 a month. Fubo TV. I never even heard of this one. This is $44.99.
What the hell?
It's sports stuff. So
it's sports stuff.
all sports crap, and has DVR feature and all that stuff. So that's not
Okay.
for us. Amazon Video. Philo is $16. Never heard of that. Video streaming service Philo offers a good mix of entertainment and lifestyle channels at a reasonable price, but it lacks sports and news content. So I don't even know what the hell that is. Never heard of it, but it's
Now,
$16.
what
a
about
month.
the stuff that pops up on my Roku? Shout Factory, all of that. Are those
Yeah,
considered
are all-
streaming apps?
All streaming apps too. Yeah. So there's a horror movie one. I guess like Shout has their own horror movie streaming
Okay.
thing, and Full Moon has their own streaming thing for all the full moon movies. HBO Now is a big one.
Yeah, I think one of the HBOs, like I said, I've got that with my...
Yeah, DirecTV Now also does a streaming thing where you can go through the PlayStation, I guess, or something. You got YouTube TV, which is a big one now.
What is that a month?
It doesn't say.
You know what YouTube started doing is you'll be watching whatever, and if it's long enough, it will actually stop, show a commercial in the middle, and then go back to the video.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate that.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, and there's...
But, I mean, again, they're trying to push you to their pay service. And honestly, I could probably add another pay service and still be under $50 a month.
Yeah.
I just don't need to.
Right. Well, because you're still, I mean, you're buying things or renting things from Amazon Prime, right?
I am. If it's not available, depending on how much I want it, Infinity War, it's like, I want to watch that at home. Mm-hmm. So I did that. I broke my rule.
Oh, what'd you break? What rule?
I rented Deadpool 2. So I actually did pay money for a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah.
But it was a thing. There were people over.
Right. Blame those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I did pay money for a Ryan Reynolds movie. But most of them, I can wait till they're free.
Okay.
So that's not really a bad gig. I love the fact that I can go back and watch old TV shows.
Right. That's cool.
And do it that way. And just, binge those. Because, sometimes you're thinking, I want to watch 5 seasons of Get Smart.
Right.
And you do.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a bad thing.
No, not necessarily. It really is. I forgot how...
The movie sucked, but the show was great.
I just rewatched that. Not as bad as I remember, but, yeah, it wasn't the show. Didn't have the charm.
Right.
That the show did. And she's no Barbara Feldon.
True.
So
she's no Catwoman either, but...
That's true. Yeah. Another thing they got messed up. Anyway.
True story. So let me ask you, though, I mean, if you add it all up, like say if you had HBO and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime, aren't you getting pretty close to that level, though?
You
in the
can't.
60 to 80 range? And you're not getting...
I don't know.
I mean, the thing I miss the most probably is the local channels because, and it's not even really that I watch local TV.
News?
It's the news. Yeah, I want to see the news. I want to see the weather. If something happens, the sky turns green and there's a tornado.
Yeah,
warning,
but you know what? I got the app. I got the local news app that I can pull up, and then they'll go live.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't. If I was a bigger sports fan, then yeah. But MLB has an app.
They do. We have an antenna in the house, picks up a lot of channels. I mean, it's weird. There's like one spot in our house, and it's not the living room. It's the office, I guess, or the den in the front that can pick up like 30, 40 channels for free on a cheap antenna. And there's some stuff in there that I was like really surprised about. There's like an action channel. There's a Western channel. There's a old channel that's all old game shows, like just all free stuff, So
we missed that during remakes.
We did.
Or reboots, how they're doing all the old game shows.
Yep.
Again,
they
because they're dirt cheap to produce.
Mm-hmm.
I've wondered that, doing math in my head, like, man, am I getting close to cable? But even if I did, say I even paid the same amount that I paid for cable, I still wouldn't go to cable.
Well, it's
just because of the options.
It's the ability to watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it. The fact that I can just say, hey, this is on. It's on there. It's free. I'm going to pick it up and watch it now. And then if I don't finish it, I can come back next week and finish it or whatever. It's that option, I think, that makes it so enjoyable and makes it so much better than cable.
Well, and, we've talked before about shows that are bingeable and some that are kind of, they don't hold up.
Right.
If you binge watch them. And, again, because of the writing. Mm-hmm. Because just a few weeks ago we mentioned that. You wrote to the commercial. You built the action up. Now you don't have to.
Exactly.
You can tell a 15-minute story, not have to do that, but now you've got to write to the end of the hour to create that, but you're telling a seamless story over the course of 10, 16 episodes.
Right.
So it's changed the way that you write. Mm-hmm. And I think it eliminates some of the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Because again, if you do binge watch some of these older shows, you're kind of like, all right, I can see the pattern.
Right.
This is how it works every single episode.
Yeah. Not only that, but when you get into a show that's really long, like Frasier or Cheers or any of those shows, you'll see the story kind of starts repeating. It's like, oh, they've already covered this, but now
Right.
it's from a different perspective of a different character.
And I just binge watched Frasier, I think, this year. And I'd never watched it in the 90s.
Oh, yeah?
I was aware of it. I knew who the characters were and caught glimpses, but never was really into it. But really a good show.
Great writing.
I
Yeah.
really had no idea. They would devolve it, or devolve's not the right word. They would do their shticky sitcom bits, but outside of that, the writing was strong.
Right.
The writing was really well done. It wasn't typical sitcom writing where it's like, hey, we're going to write down to this third grade level.
Right.
So I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I like Frasier a lot. I think, honestly, I'll say Frasier is a better show than Cheers, I think, in the long run. If you watch Cheers.
It was
versus
on
Frasier.
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
And I think Cheers just has, Frasier has a much wider story. You're not just in a bar like the entire time, you know?
Sure.
You've got other places where the story can be told and things go outside of the norm. So I think that helps, you know, when shows do that. But
Yeah, because you're not limited on the storytelling. Well, and they talked about that's why they did Deep Space Nine.
oh, what?
Was because
right.
it got to tell a different story of, hey, they're just in the spaceship the whole time. Now you get to see them in other environments doing other things.
Right.
So it gave them another mode of storytelling.
Well, then they brought Worf in, and then they got their own ship, and they got to go do stuff. So they got to be out of the space station.
Well, they realized at some point there's always that character, man.
Yeah, there is.
It's like we're going to march out on our own. They did that on was it Enterprise? What was the one with Scott Bakula?
Yeah, Enterprise. Yeah.
And who was it they brought? I think they brought Riker in at one point.
Right.
Because at some point you realize, like, we need that guy. We've got to have a hook. Because guys like me, it's like, well, I've never watched it. Like, oh, Riker's on it? I'll watch it.
Right. Yeah, those little bottle episodes where people come from different shows and stuff and make it exciting.
And time in. And I don't know what the premise of the new.
Was Enterprise the one that did the time travel thing where they went back into the original series show, or one of them did that? What was that?
That was DS9.
DS9. That was
great.
Because
they did a triple episode.
That's right. That was fantastic. Oh, so cool.
With Cisco.
Yeah. And he an underused captain, I think. I think out of the captains,
Avery
from
Brooks
the Star
is
Trek-
great. I will say this: having read, talking about binging, binge reading all the Robert Parker Spencer series. You cannot read Hawk's character without just seeing
Right.
Avery Brooks,
Right.
and just him, Spencer,
Yeah.
the way however he would say it.
He was
like,
awesome,
deeper.
yeah.
He was totally that character. So I would have liked to have seen him. They could have utilized him. They could have made a movie, maybe.
Yeah, they could have.
So I'm curious about. I like Patrick Stewart though.
I do too. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they do with him.
Is he your captain?
Have you been reading my Facebook? Have you been following Facebook?
No, I haven't.
So Griner and Allen go back and forth over Kirk and Picard,
Oh yeah.
and I don't have a preference. Allen's Kirk, Griner's Picard.
Of course.
I like them both. Honestly, I would say in the new series in Next Gen, Riker was the Kirk character.
Yeah, he totally was, right.
Yeah,
Not
he
as
was
cool,
he
mind
was
you.
the cowboy. Yeah,
he was like
no.
the ugly redhead stepchild child of Kirk.
Yeah,
It's just not.
I got the
nowhere
gut
near
like
as cool.
Kirk.
Yeah.
But he walked like John Wayne sometimes.
He did,
the
yeah.
way he would swagger, and I liked him on the show. But they kind of blended a little bit of that into Picard.
Yeah.
I like them both as captains. But as they were commenting about that on Facebook, I was like, here's my favorite captain. I put up a shot of Mal Reynolds. Because honestly,
There you go.
yeah, I'm going with Mal.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to get one of those shirts that says Mal shot first. Like, forget Han, Mal shot first. Just now, that's a show I would love to see come back.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've read the books that they've done since, and the artwork sucks. Anytime you try to do a movie or television show, the artwork in there is always just, it's like, what artist did they get? But it's nice to continue to know the story of what goes on.
Who's doing the comics for the Firefly stuff?
One of the Whedons is like the story guy, and then they have a different writer.
Is it its own thing, or is it DC, or is it Marvel? Or is it
Dark Horse?
Dark Horse, which is...
Or Image? I don't remember.
I was going to say, could we see a Firefly Guardians of the Galaxy crossover?
No.
How cool would that be?
Might be pretty cool. Except Mal would kill everybody.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's maybe I don't know, Dark Horse or Image. I think
One of those.
and now
Someone will
somebody
correct us,
else
I'm
got the rights to it, so
Yeah.
that's always in flux.
Yeah, great series, great movie. Just, I don't know, didn't catch on.
Which is weird. Well,
Yeah.
the marketing behind it was so bad.
It was.
If you watch the original commercial, the 30-second, hey, watch this show, Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth. That's what's playing, and they cut it to look like a comedy. Like, what the hell? So not indicative of that show.
Wow, that's awful.
So
That's awful.
And again, beautiful thing is streaming. Your show that's on for 5 minutes, you can track it down,
Right.
which is another one of the great things about it, because it used to be you and I are roughly the same age,
Right.
but it was, man, you watch it and then you got reruns in the summer and you're done.
Right.
You don't
Right.
get to watch a very special different strokes anymore.
And if it didn't get syndication, that's it.
Yeah.
It's not on anymore.
No, you're done.
Until
and then,
Time Life puts out the Blu-ray set or the DVD set. yeah.
exactly. Well, and you had the VHS, and it was like, oh my God, I can buy Hill Street Blues on VHS.
Right.
And it's like, now you can buy it on Blu-ray. It's like, well, hell, now you can just stream it.
Exactly.
And that's how I'm watching Magnum right now,
Yeah.
because it streams on Stars. So I don't see how they compete with it.
So let me ask you this, though. Do you think with the whole net neutrality thing already being handled, is that going to affect streaming in the future? Because
Yeah.
there's talks about changing the price structure to include streaming, so now you're paying more for streaming internet.
Unfortunately, I think it will.
Yeah.
Because, and I think it's bullshit.
I think it is too, yeah.
I think that's like saying you have a Samsung, I have an Apple, so now I can't send data to you because you're on a different phone. Or
Right.
you can't send text to me because I'm on a different service and we want you to only use our service. It's the same thing by them saying, well, if you want to watch this show, we don't own it, so we're going to slow it down and make it a miserable viewing experience for you,
Right.
so you can't see it. But if you switch your cable to us, we own this company, so we can do that.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I'm trying to think of it. To me, there's something wrong there. You can't do that in other areas. You can't take your car to a dealership to get it worked on and then say, well, you know what? We sell Fords. That's a Chevy. So your oil change is $30 more.
Right.
Or we're going to do a shittier job.
Or you had an oil change at Quick Lube, and now you've voided the warranty on your vehicle.
Right.
And,
oh,
yeah,
that's
just,
another thing. Yeah.
yeah.
I had a buddy go through that, and he had all the documentation.
Oh, wow.
And they still screwed him.
That's messed up.
But yeah,
I mean,
I think it will change because it's all designed around push the revenue back to home.
Right.
And honestly, as much of a hippie as I'm going to sound like, I have no issue with free internet. Make it
Right.
like phone service. Make it, hey, everybody gets it. We're going to have internet. It's now a utility.
Right.
As many people that work at home or stream or whatever, it's a utility just like the phone used to be a hardline utility at home. It's like electricity. We're not going back from it.
No, we're not. No, there's no way.
There was a time when I thought, man, CDs, there's no technology that'll ever top it because it's so perfect. Then you got MP3s. In that case, though, it reverted back to vinyl for some people because of the quality.
Yeah.
But if you're watching a Blu-ray or streaming, there's nothing wrong with the quality.
Right.
So there's no reason to go back to, well, we got to watch it over the air, or, I'm going to watch it on my TV. You can watch it anywhere, which
Yep.
is one of the advantages. But I just don't see that being a technology where it's going to become cool to do retro and put the rabbit ears up and go, now we're going to watch it that way.
You think that, but there's a whole hipster movement, and
Yeah, but the
you got
quali-
hipsters watching VHS tapes. They're all excited about when they found, the thing on VHS.
Yeah, but that's because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a quality thing. The audio on an album, I get. You get more of the sound. But VHS, no. You're missing out.
Right.
So
Yeah. Why
that
would
to
you watch
me,
it on VHS if you have it on Blu-ray? It's going to look
yeah,
so
it's
much
just going to
better on
stretch
Blu-ray.
out. and
Right. Yeah.
No reason for it.
I don't get that either, but people are doing it, man. I mean,
Well, and
there's
look at
something
it-
to be said for having something, for owning it, for
I agree.
having the physical copy of it. I think
And that's how I am with books. If I read a book, I want to own it. I'm getting away from that with movies to some extent, unless it's something I watch a lot.
right.
Then I want to own it.
a big part of me wants to go through my Blu-ray and DVD collection and just get rid of a bunch of stuff. But at the same time, I know if this net neutrality thing becomes a thing where it actually affects things, I've got a large library of things I can go back to.
Yeah, where you don't have to worry
about it.
Oh, they're not going to let me watch this.
And we actually had this discussion at our house about why do we need internet, really? Because I have unlimited streaming. Well, no, I have unlimited streaming on your neighbors. I have unlimited streaming on my phone. I can cast to my TV. I can watch my Netflix. I can watch my Amazon. I can watch everything.
You have unlimited streaming on your phone?
Yeah. It's through T-Mobile. So, hashtag T-Mobile. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, I don't really. The only thing I need internet for is for checking the news, maybe sending an email. I can do emails from my phone too.
What about for your video game system?
That's about it, really. I mean, Xbox, you have to have, if you have an Xbox One, you have to have gold and you have to have connection for that.
Right.
So that's one thing that really I'm not happy about Xbox, because if you don't have it connected to the internet, you can't stream from my computer to my Xbox. You have to have Xbox Gold to do that. So that's kind of bullshit. But I mean, really, I've got a whole backlog of DVDs and Blu-rays. I've got a whole computer filled with streaming copies of things that I can connect to my TV and just watch. I really don't need internet at home at this point. I mean, for the most part, my daughter has school projects. She can do those at school, or she can,
True.
You can do your, send the signal from your, what is that called? Hotspot. Hotspot to the laptop.
Isn't that more expensive though?
It's all included.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not on my plan.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, no, I know that's actually a good argument.
Yeah. Why am I paying $100 for internet when it sucks? It's internet in my area has gone down so much because they're building across the street, and I don't know if they're running everything over there, but I can't even watch anything without it going into buffering now.
Knock wood, it hasn't been bad here. Now, there was an outage the other day that AT&T had, but I was able, you know what? It was nice because instead of having to call the 800 number, you just pop it in there, and they're like, yeah, there's a problem in your area. We're going to text you when it's resolved. Like, okay, cool. Don't have to worry about it.
That's great.
Yeah. Because that never used to be the case.
Right.
But, right now it's cost-wise, it's not too bad, and the service has, knock wood, been pretty solid. Now, granted, I'm not using a ton because when I look at my usage for the month, when I pay the bill, I haven't even used half, which amazes me because how much is used.
Oh, so you have a cap on what you can use.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Who is that through?
But I never even touch it.
Okay.
I don't even get close to it.
Really, with all the Netflix and everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's still only like $60 a month?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, and that, so that's, and maybe that's why I don't get the delays on my streaming stuff.
Right. So then you add the internet price plus all the streaming prices.
They're probably at about $100.
But you're getting it on demand and what you want. So
right. So
there's the saving grace, I think, on that.
True. Wow, I'm not saving anything.
And you're missing all those great channels like the Wii channel and the...
How many channels are there, man? I don't even know. I don't know how many I scrolled past where it's some specialty channel. I can't... And I'll tell you, the last time I really sat and watched TV, just like to see what's on there, was in Vegas when we were at the trade show.
Oh, yeah.
I rented Infinity War. Had room service. Great French dip sandwich.
Nice.
It was lovely. The W in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Don't stay there. The rooms are weird.
Are they?
Yeah.
What's weird about the rooms?
Dude, it had a tapestry. All the walls were tapestries.
That's a little odd.
Yeah. And my pillow had a drag queen on it.
What?
Yeah, it was a drag queen. And God bless drag queens.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, you don't want to wake up to that.
Yeah, it's like, why is that on a pillow? I don't know. But it had a great shower. But anyway, I'm laying there, and I love infomercials. I don't know if it's my media background, just knowing what goes into it.
Right.
Thinking, man, somebody had to write this.
The poor guy.
Some poor bastard sitting there going, I went to college. I was going to write poetry. Sitting here writing a fucking infomercial. But he's getting a check.
Yeah.
But my favorite is the Magic Bullet. I fucking love that one. The one where they all end up in the house using the Magic Bullet because it's like Big Chill gone wrong. It's like Big Chill becomes like one of those things for a timeshare. But I'm watching.
I have to see this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God, it is beautiful. These people wake up and it's this huge kitchen with this big wraparound counter.
Right.
And the perfect pretty couple is downstairs. And another couple walks in like, hey, you want some fresh ground coffee? And they're like, what? No, don't bother. And like, no bother at all. Look, with the magic bullet. And then they sit there and they grind the coffee. Fresh ground coffee. And like, how about some eggs? And then it goes to, look, drop the eggs in, use the magic bullet. They scramble the eggs. More people start coming in. They start making more shit. They're making fettuccine sauce. They're dropping it. Look, drop in your Parmesan and milk and a little butter. They're doing that. Salsa, guacamole, margarita. This is all at fucking breakfast that they're showing people how to make this. One lady walks in a bathrobe, curlers, and what is obviously a fake cigarette.
Okay.
And they're selling the magic bullet to their friends. Like, hey, that's great. Nobody ever fucking eats. But they're making mountains of food. And I'm just, who, did you just like show up for the college reunion and all of a sudden they were just like, you gotta own this?
Wow.
I fucking love that.
What is that? I've never seen that. Do they have the JFK edition of the Magic Bullet?
I don't know. That would be, it's only 30 minutes.
Right.
And I've looked for it on YouTube and I've seen like the new ones where it's the pool party. Not as good.
Not as good.
To me, it's fascinating. It's like, I want the backstory. I want to know what happened. But when I was in Vegas, the other infomercial that's been on forever, the Total Gym.
I've seen that, yeah.
And I'm like, huh. Like, interesting. Chuck Norris still using that. Look at the exercises. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, I can try it for $1. I didn't order one. Mm-hmm. But when I got back, I did some research. Mm-hmm. And everything I read on it was... It's not the Tony Little Gazelle Rider, which was the infomercial after the Total Gym, and I turned that off. Or any of these other shitty...
Yeah, the little rolling crunch thing or whatever the hell, yeah.
Yeah, any of that crap. They're like, no, it will actually do everything it says. It actually works. It actually provides these benefits, but you got to use it. If you don't use it, nothing. But if you use it, it will absolutely do these things. So I look at the price for, the $1 a month trial. $1,500 seemed a bit rich.
Right.
So I found a used model, which is what's next to us now. Yeah, it's they don't make this one anymore, but it works great.
Cool.
It's like son of a gun. So there from watching.
If Runco has an infomercial streaming thing, you're probably for $5.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the hairspray for this bald spot that I've got like right here. Get the
little spray on hair thing.
Speaking of. Old episode of Magnum with Ted Danson.
Yeah.
Bald spot then.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It was.
You could see it plain as day,
he still had the big hair.
Right.
But you could still see, it was like, there's nothing back there. They got that waving back and stuff.
Right.
So, another advantage of that, getting to see old actors in their bald spots.
Right.
But, so that was the last time. So, the last time I watched network TV, I ended up buying this.
Yeah. I know. Sucker.
It works.
Hey, you did your research at least, right? And you didn't buy it for $1,000.
I've actually used it.
That's great. The last thing I bought off an infomercial was something called a turbo cooker. And this was
Was this the one that strips all the juice out of meat and turns it into shitty beef jerky?
No. This was, it looked like a wok. And it was basically the equivalent of, what's that new thing everybody's buying that super excited about, that basically like a pressure cooker?
Oh, it's a new word for a pressure cooker. Yeah.
Basically, it was like a wok, and it had this lid on it, and you could put frozen food in it. You put like frozen chicken at the bottom with a little bit of water. Didn't even use oil. Had a little grate at the top where you could put like your frozen vegetables. You covered it up, put it on high heat for like 20 minutes. Everything was cooked.
Really?
And it was great. Like you take it off, flip the meat, whatever. But it cooked really fast. It cooked really good. You could do cakes in it. It was crazy the stuff you could cook in this thing, and we loved it. It was like $50. I think it was probably $100 with the payments or whatever. But we used that thing for like 6 years before it finally died on us. And by the time it died, they weren't making them anymore. And I was like, shit. So that was like the last made-for-TV thing I bought, and it was great.
Huh.
But now everybody's on this other thing. I don't even know what the hell it's called. What's the?
Oh, I forget. It's a pressure cooker.
Yeah, it's basically
basically what it is.
Yeah, that big deal. Everybody's all gaga about that now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, do you know the name of that thing? It's like a pressure cooker.
Instant Pot?
Instant Pot, yeah.
Instapot.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Instapot. That's the new hotness.
I
Everybody
just
wants it.
remember when we used the pressure cooker at home, I was so deathly afraid it was going to explode. Because
Right.
my mother would be like, your father doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to blow us all up. It's like, because he would just be there like, oh, I'm just checking it. Like, God.
What the hell were you cooking in the pressure? Gefilte fish or something? Or?
No, it's cold. You don't put gefilte in there. Come on. No, he was making chili.
Yeah.
I'm making a pot of beans and
Yeah, a lot of people love that thing, man. There's a what?
yeah. So I don't
a lot of
know.
people
I don't
talk
know
about
the
it.
difference between the Instapot and the.
Well, there's on Amazon. There's 15 different versions of it by different companies. So who knows?
Well, it's just like the Magic Bullet. There's
Right,
the
right.
Zip Bullet, the what
Ninja,
bullet.
the whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
All those things.
Do you remember the one Jack LaLanne did? What was it, Juice Tiger or something like that?
Yeah.
That thing looked like you could actually feed branches into it.
Yeah, we've got the Vitamix. You can feed some branches into that thing. Yeah.
Do you
That
use the
blender?
Vitamix?
We use it all the time, man.
Are
That
you
was
serious?
was
I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, I use it for regular blending stuff, but also, I mean, it just for making smoothies and stuff like that. It's fantastic. We use
Really?
it. Yeah, we use it all the time. We've actually
Is
we're
the
on our
cleanup a
second
pain
one.
in the ass?
So easy. All you do is just put water in it, put some just dish liquid in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you put it back on the thing and turn it up on high, and it just cleans everything out. Just dump it out, rinse it, and you're done.
No
It's
shit.
fantastic. Yeah.
Huh.
So, I mean, I lost a lot of weight doing the juicing thing a couple of years back when we first got it, but
I need to try
it's
that.
just hard to maintain. Hard to
Well,
maintain.
at some point, as odd as it sounds, you want to chew something. It's
Right,
like,
right. But I mean, you
like-
can do a lot of stuff and use it to make guacamole and everything. So yeah, it's great. It is pretty awesome.
I'm gonna try to find that Magic
And
Bullet.
the best thing
commercial
about
for
it
you.
was when we bought it originally, it was like $800 or some stupid shit. It was
Yeah.
a lot of money. Maybe it was like $400. I think it was probably $400. Bought it for $400 off the site back in the day. Got it, used it, had it for 2 years, and it started getting kind of funky. Like it was not doing what it was supposed to do. It wasn't as, crunching up everything as much as it was. And I went to the site and it's like, hey, lifetime warranty. What do I do? They're like, oh, go to Costco. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we have it at Costco. They'll trade it out for you, no problem. I'm like, okay. Took it to Costco, thinking they're not going to trade this out. They're like, oh yeah, just go grab another one. So I go to grab another one. They're like, you got $400 store credit. I'm like, great. Go to grab another one. It's like $150. I'm like, okay. Is this less than the one? No, it's the same thing. I'm like, okay. What do I do with the rest of the money? Get whatever you want. Sound bar. So
Nice.
$200 sound bar and a little extra money on some other stuff. So it was great.
Got the giant thing of cheese balls.
Yes, of course. You have to get the giant thing of cheese balls, and you put it in the Vitamix and make cheese balls. Make a little cheese ball drink that's delightful.
Well, it's got to be healthy because it's a.
It's in the Vitamix.
Yeah.
Cheese ball.
It's a cheese
just
ball
put some kale in
smoothie.
it. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little spinach.
What a combination that would be.
God.
So, what's the worst thing you ever saw in an infomercial? Worst piece of like you're like nobody's gonna buy it.
The clapper was one that I just was like. I thought it was a great idea, but it never worked. Have you ever had anybody use a clapper?
I know somebody
awful.
who tried to use a clapper,
Yeah.
but every sound you made,
It just went off and on.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. Yeah.
it was.
What's your
horrible.
worst thing?
It had to be anything from Ronco.
Yeah.
Just looking like, man, are you really gonna put spray paint on your head?
Right. This guy's made a lot of money, though, man.
He has,
A lot
man.
of
The
money.
pocket fisherman.
I always thought. Remember those ads back in the day that were like, "Do you have an idea? Would you like to
Yeah.
make your?" Was that Ronco doing that? I mean, was that
Maybe
how
and
they
then
got their
stealing your
ideas?
idea.
I don't know.
They did a reality show about that. Who's the guy that? Billy
Foreman?
Billy no Billy
the
Billy
guy-
Mays.
yeah, the guy that
Billy
yells all the
Mays
time.
and the English version of him.
Right.
And they did a show where people would bring their products and they would talk about how to do the infomercial
Okay.
and do it that way.
Is that streaming on some site right now? Or something?
I have no idea.
What was that called? Do you know what it was called?
Pitchman.
Pitchman. Okay.
It was called Pitchman.
Yeah, Billy
So,
Mays died of a coke overdose, didn't he?
I think it was a coke overdose.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
you
was.
could tell he was, "There's
What, you
no
think he's going to be
shot."
that excited
Right,
selling
yeah.
your piece of plastic shit if he's not coked up?
Right.
Yeah, but that was they would advertise and guys would have all sorts of crazy ideas. But you know what? I bought one of those little collapsible hoses. I don't know what version of it is, but I
Right.
got it from the As Seen on TV area at, I don't know, Walmart or whatever, just so I didn't have to roll up a garden hose. Works fine.
There you go.
So,
Some of that stuff works, man. Some of it's completely useless, but some of it works.
yeah. Check out the Magic Bullet. You'll love it. Hey, kids. So we're going to wrap up another episode, our third episode in a row of Love to Hate. And if you've liked this episode, for just 4 easy payments, you can We got to get some advertising.
We
If
do,
you
yeah.
love this show, then donate to us so we can both quit our jobs.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And we'll just do this all the time for you. We'll
let
give
you-
you a shout out.
yeah.
We'll just like on PBS Pledge Drive. We'd like to thank Tom C. from Decatur for his $50.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you, Tom.
We're going to be sending you an ELO tote bag.
Oh, nice. Those are vintage.
Fucking tote bags. If they want to check us out on social
Yellow
media.
tote bag.
No shit. I don't know why ELO came to mind. It just Jeff Lynne
kinda
looks like a
sounded
hippie.
right,
Yeah.
right.
If they want to check us out on social media,
You can check us out on the Twitter page at Love to Hate Pod, and you can check us out on Facebook at Love to Hate, and we were also on the Instagram.
we are all over the place. Kids,
Yes,
thanks
we
for
are.
spending another week with us. We will talk to you later.